Psalm 44. Well, Psalm 44 is 25 verses, not too long to read, and there's some lovely verses in it, but I want to take two and build them together. Thou art my King, O God, commandeth deliverance for Jacob. You bring about deliverance for the struggling nation. Now, if you personalize that, thou art my King, my God, I'm a struggling individual. And I want your commands. I want your direction. I want to know you're on my side. But I like this second verse, which is the one I want to emphasize. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. What do you put your trust in? I think most of my life I've put my trust in my own abilities. I think so. I could run faster, I could jump higher, I could swim further, I could climb mountains. I seem to be able to do anything and everything. And I could put my trust in that. And one of the lessons that I've learned in my 67 years so far is that I can't put my trust in my bow. And I can't put my trust in my sword. Let me tell you a story which you may have picked up in some other videos. But when my mother deserted the family, she came into my life when I was 6, disappeared when I was 11. And I wouldn't see her or hear from her for 28 years. I was nearly 40 when she reappeared. And the person she had been living with had died and she was now on her own. And anyway, she made contact and came back. But when I was 11, the siblings of mine had been taken into different institutions, and I only was left at home with a violent and an even more violent dad, and a person who spent the early hours of the morning in the sad parts of the Midlands. And on a sunny afternoon, it may have been a Saturday, may have been a Sunday, I was walking down a pathway which had a big hedgerow to the side and wire fencing to the other. And I had made myself a sword out of a little bit of wood, bit of grass seed that are round, not seed, but twigs and etc. It's a feeble thing. But I was knocking off the heads of dandelions and seeing their seeds going in the sky when I saw a man that I'd never recognized before. And he looked strange. He was dressed in black in what I thought was a dress down to his ankles, and he had an unusual hat on. Maybe he belonged to some kind of order. I hid the sword, and when I got near to him, he said, "What have you got in your hand?" I didn't think he'd understand me. I was dyslexic and I was tongue-tied, and I was something like that. Sword. He said, "Can I see it?" I took it, and I meant to give it to him by the hand. He said, no. He took it by the blade, what would have been the blade. It's only a piece of wood. And he lifted it up, and I thought it was going to come apart. He lifted it up into the blue sky. I told you it was a sunny afternoon. And he said, "This is not a sword, this is a cross." Then he said to me, "You are going to be a soldier of the cross." That was his prophecy that was placed upon me. I would not trust in the bow or the sling, and neither shall I put my trust in the sword. They cannot save me. And one of the lessons that I've learned, and I've learned it slowly, I have not learned it fast, is that I'm not to put my trust in what is natural to me. The bow and the sword was natural to them, and natural to the person who wrote this psalm. He wants to put his trust in the real salvation and in the Lord. Thought for the day. Don't put your trust in your car or your house or your home or your education or your privilege or whatever, what comes natural to you. They won't save you. The bow and the sword won't save you. Boyd's Bible. Thank you for listening.